Okay, so this is the day before Sing Open. I've done my pre-race warm-up at the National Stadium earlier, and now I'm just chilling at the recovery house, which is where I've been staying at for the past 3 to 4 weeks, in preparation for Sing Open. I am pretty excited for this year's Sing Open. Um, One small reason is because this year's Sing Open will be the first race for this year, which also means that this will officially kick off my season for the year. So pretty excited for that. But the main reason why I will say that I'm really looking forward to this year's Sing Open is because I have chosen not to run in my pet event this time round, which is the 400-meter hurdles. Instead, I'll be running in other events. The reason why I've chosen to do this is just because there is a bit more runway in terms of trying to qualify for Commonwealth Games and Asian Games, which kind of gives me the freedom to kind of, I guess you can call it, do some side quest in the meantime to kick off the season. So for this year's Sing Open, I have chosen to run the 100, the 200, as well as the 400. For the 100, pretty much it's just because I think looking at the schedule for this year's major games, at least for Commonwealth Games, since the schedule for Asian Games is not out yet, um, the schedule for Commonwealth Games does allow me to be able to run in the 4x1, because right now the 4x1 is scheduled to happen after the 3 rounds of 400-meter hurdles at Commonwealth Games. And so I've decided that, you know what, let's try to get back into the 4x1 team again. This is kind of the reason why I've chosen to run 100 meters at Sing Open, just to get a data point to be able to be considered for nomination for Commonwealth Games. Of course, I totally understand that the climate in 100 meters field right now is very different from what it was 3 years back. The depth right now is really crazy. There are a lot of boys running really, really fast time this time round. So it's going to be a tough fight. Huge battle over here. But hopefully everything goes well. So for the 200, pretty much the reason why I've chosen to run the 200 is just because, ironically, at the moment, I am still only part of the 22 seconds club, meaning I have not gone under 22 seconds, which is quite funny considering the fact that I've gone a 10.69 for the 100 meters, I've gone a 47.39 for the 400 meters. And so not going under 22 seconds is a bit of a weird statistic right there. And there is kind of like a joke right now in my current training group where, the three of us, myself, Xander, and Shanti, we are all part of the 22 seconds club, which is not great, right, for the boys, considering that, we should be going well below 22 seconds with the kind of speed that we have. And so with this Sing Open, I'm looking to change that. Then finally, the 400 meters. The 400 meters is where I am looking to try and see if I can break the national rec, to be honest. I don't think it will happen, like just based on where we are in the phase of training. I don't think there is enough endurance base just yet to be able to do it, but you never know, right? When you're feeling good, anything can happen. And so I think for Sing Open, that's kind of like why I've chosen to run the 400 meters instead. It is kind of like part of training as well, in towards the bigger goal of trying to peak for Commonwealth Games and Asian Games. But yeah, pretty much just trying to see if I can get the NR. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't. If it doesn't, then it doesn't happen. But I guess if it happens, at least I can get Coach Lewis off my back. Who has been, I think, really wanting me to break the NR for the longest time. I think he really thinks that it is possible for me to do it. And I mean, it is true. I think based on just last year's form, it is entirely possible. But yeah, I also do think that, the 400 meter NR is kind of like way overdue for it to be broken. I think for a few years now, there have been a couple of boys who have showed the potential and the ability to actually break the record, but it just never happened. but I think maybe 2026 will be the year for it to actually finally happen. Yeah, but that's pretty much kind of why I've chosen to do these events that I've chosen for Sing Open. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about right now. And see you tomorrow.
Third heat in the men's 100 metres. Team Takata Trackers, Eugene Ching from Nice start from the middle there from the Chinese Taipei athlete, but Singapore's Gan has absolutely flying on the outside. We've got Quek. It's going to be a very, very tight one. It looks like Singapore is going to, another upset. Ian Gan. At the moment, the two little cues are coming from this one.
Okay, so yeah, 10.77 to finish 11th overall in the heats of the 100 meters. Mixed feeling, I guess, because to be honest, I think I'd have loved to have clocked a faster timing. It's a bit frustrating, I guess, just because yesterday's pre-race warm-up definitely felt a lot better. Definitely felt a lot smoother during the warm-up yesterday. Everything felt it was clicking a bit more, so wasn't able to execute today the way I wanted. And I think race-wise, it was more or less okay, but the running technique wasn't the best today. Definitely the leg recovery wasn't as quick as how I would have normally run, but I think it's probably like a first race of the season kind of thing where I just need to get into the idea of being able to execute during competition in an actual race. So I guess 10.77 is not too bad, right? Still ranked like 5th overall among the boys, which I mean will put me in a better position to be selected for the 4x1. But of course, at the end of the day, it's up to the coaches to make the decision. So pretty much, I guess it's kind of like out of my hand right now. Although I guess I can redeem myself a bit more, put a stronger case for the 4x1 on Friday. But I think right now it's just gonna refocus and put all my energy and focus in the 200 meters tomorrow instead. Yeah, I mean, like what I said previously, really hoping to get under 22 seconds. I do have a faster timing in mind, I guess. It's not just going in under 22 seconds, but hopefully quite a bit under 22 seconds. But let's just see how it goes. Yep. Okay. Bye.
Mark Brian Lewis from Singapore. Junji Quek from Singapore. He's the national record holder in the 400 hurdles. We've got a couple. It's hard to go past. And again, really nice start and a very impressive start here from the Singaporean. Really working the bend to his advantage. You can see the ground that he's making up here. So Lewis is running well, but he's got a bit of work to do here because Quek is starting to also catch up. So it's going to be a neck-and-neck battle here between Lewis and Quek. Lewis has got to push through hard now. He's also just trying to stop them propped a little bit here. Not sure how that's followed through, but Quek out of this heat. 21.43 is Quek.
Oh, sub 21 gang, sub 22 gang.
So we are very, very close to the men's 200 final. Calvin Quek made it through, also the national record holder for the 400 hurdles. Wu Yi Ming Ki from Chinese Taipei. Junji Quek from Singapore, 21.42. Gee, they all got off pretty evenly there, but you can see Ki on the 4th from the right. He's certainly putting in a few grounds. Now, Roslin's also competing very strongly, but Key's going to be coming through the home straight in first. Now Key's putting in a mighty effort. Roslin's there as well, so is Lewis, but Key's very much in contention here. That's a flying run, 27.2. 4, which means we do have a new championship record there from the Chinese Taipei.
So a double PB today for the 200 meters. Wow, I am so happy right now. I think it's really long overdue for a PB in the 200 meters. I think, yeah, honestly, it was pretty much a case of, I think it was always possible to do a sub 22. But to be able to do it twice, well within 22 seconds, 21.4, followed by a 21.3 in the finals is really, it's so crazy to me. Like, it's really, really fast, even by my own expectations. So, yeah, honestly, I think it was a good comeback from yesterday's results in the 100 meters. Yeah, definitely a lot better today. Really happy about it. But honestly, also really, really, really tired right now. I'm so exhausted. And then to think that I have to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow to prepare for the 400 meters heats, which is happening at 9 a.m. is just, it is so crazy. I already got my dinner, but I have to go shower soon before getting to bed really early. Honestly, hoping I can get some sleep. I'm not sure how much sleep I can get, considering that I'm sleeping a lot earlier than what I'm used to sleeping. Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting to see what happens. I've done no prep leading up to these 400 meters in terms of like trying to adjust my sleep, right? So yeah, let's just see how it goes sleep wise, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow in the heats. Bye. Oh, and before I forgot, also a massive shout out to Xander, who did a huge PB. Really huge congrats to him. Finally, he also broke 22 seconds. In fact, well below 22 seconds as well. So really, really, really good news for the team. That's it. Good morning, guys. Yeah, as expected, yesterday's night's sleep was terrible. I think I only got like 5 hours worth of sleep, so really tired right now. But yeah, just gonna see how the warm-up goes for now, and then hopefully everything goes okay. Yeah.
Nathan. Calvin Quek from Singapore. He's run the 2. Yeah, really nice start from all of our runners here. Osman on the inside is starting to make some ground. We've also got Quek, who is out in lane 6, who is moving fast up to our top 2 runners there, Del Prado and Chang. Now, Del Prado has also gone with Quek. So Del Prado is currently out with that number 8 in the lead against Quek. Behind him is Hood from Singapore. Keeping an eye on Del Prado and Quek, because we've also got on the inside Umar Osman that's about to make some ground. You can see he's just appeared into the picture. Now, this is a fantastic last 50, because Umar Osman will be coming through the home straight in that first spot. Along the outer side is Del Prado from the Philippines. So this is going to be quite a battle, but it looks like Umar Osman is going to be taking out the 400 if he puts in this kick to romper through home. He's going to take the foot off the pedal, and so he's pretty comfortable and very much regulation. So after that, 47.01.
Yo, so done with the heats for the 400 just now. It was actually not too bad. Very much was quite a smooth run. Very much in control. No major acceleration needed. Pretty much we're just running like the same pace throughout the entire race, which was great. I mean, never really had to go in top gear in any part of the race, which is good considering that it was run at 9:30 in the morning, which is still like, wow, it's insane. Running at 9:30 in the morning, it's never good for the sprint. So all things considered, I think it was a very good race. 47.7, yeah, which really honestly felt very easy, which is great. That means that there was definitely a lot more left in the tank. let's just see how it goes during the warm-up and take it from there. Yeah.
So the men's 400 final has started crackingly, and can already see that Osman is starting to build some ground. Now tell Placido.
Okay, so yeah, obviously did not complete the 400 finals. Yeah, I think after the 400 heats, managed to get a bit of rest. And then after that, I evaluated my own body condition and the level of fatigue that I had, and I think decided that yeah, today I wasn't going to be in the condition to be able to properly attack the 400 NR, and so decided to scrap the finals and focus all my effort on the 4x1 instead, because at the moment I do still need a relay data point to be able to be considered for nomination in the final 6, the name list that will be submitted to SNOC for the major games, which is a bit unfortunate because my team, we weren't able to get the baton around to the finishing line. So as it stands, I do not actually have a relay data point, and that puts me in quite a tricky situation, I would say, because technically the final 6 that is being submitted to SNOC, they all need to have a relay data point, which I don't. So it's gonna be a very interesting situation to see how it pans out. The relay coaches, they are planning to have another relay trial in 2 weeks' time at the all comers, but I will not be in Singapore for it because I'm already planning ahead and preparing for my 400 hurdles to officially kickstart my campaign for this season. So not going to be available to run at that race. So it's going to be pretty much a situation where I am going to have to see how it goes after nomination process is over to see what SNOC comes back with, because I think at the moment there is a very good chance that I'm already going to go for the major games in my individual event, and so it's going to be a call by SNOC, I guess, to decide if they will allow me to run the 4x1 since I'm already there. So pretty much it's outside of my hands right now. I'm just going to have to wait and see how it goes, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, back to the 400. The 400 heats, the results definitely shows that there is a real possibility that I could actually break the NR sometime this season. The reason why I say that is because during the race, I would say that I never got into top gear. I was running really relaxed, very even pacing. The level of fatigue, I guess, wasn't really that bad. Pretty much was just cruising all the way from start to end, and to still run a 47.7 under those conditions, I would say that definitely puts me in quite a good position to properly attack the NR sometime this season. And it's just a matter of finding a race with good conditions, and also obviously I am fully fit to actually run it, so no any other events prior to the 400 meters, so 100% fit to go and actually properly run a 400 meters race. And I think that under those conditions, I don't normally say this because I don't really want to jinx it, but I am quietly confident with how things could go sometime this year with the 400 meters, which is why I think I'm going to make the 400 meters one of my main focus as well for this season, to give a shot at the NR for real, give it a good effort at it. Yeah, but overall, Sing Open, I would say that I am really satisfied with how it went. Didn't get off to the good start, to be honest. The 100 meters, I would have loved to at least run a 10.6 something. That is what I wanted. Of course, the expectations, I guess the 10.77 was more or less about there. I think just being able to run the 10.6 will kind of strengthen my case a bit for the 4x1. But of course, outside of my hands right now, maybe I'll choose to run another 100 meters sometime this season, not just to try and qualify for the 4x1 team, but I think it's also a good indication to see where is my speed at, and then kind of think about if there is a need to try and focus a bit more on the speed still, or I can shift my focus to the endurance part of training a bit more. Yeah, so that's for the 100. The 200 went really, really well. I am more than happy with how things went. I think for myself, coming to Sing Open, I was probably expecting or would have been happy with around a 21.6. So to come away with a 21.4 and then follow that up with a 21.29 in the finals is really mind blowing to me. I would never have thought that I would be running that fast. Number 7 all time in Singapore, and it's just crazy to me because I don't even run the 200 meters that often. I think in the last 3 years I've probably run it like 5 times. So the 200 meters is really not my focus in those last few years. So to run that timing is just crazy. And I think it's a bit of a small full circle moment, just because looking back at my track career, the 200 meters I think is kind of like what kickstarted track for me. In primary school, when I first started track, I mean, of course, wasn't doing it seriously. I was just running nationals. But those 3 years in primary school, I was doing different events, 100 meters, 400 meters, long jump. But every single year, the 200 meters I was always running it. Of course, things changed when I went to secondary school, right? Ended up doing the 400 meters and 400 meter hurdles and stuck with it since then. So to come back to the 200 meters after so long and to get onto the podium at Sing Open with a major PB is really I'm just like beyond happy with how it went. More than satisfied with the timing. But overall, I think this Sing Open was a really, really good one. And it was a very good start to this season, I guess. Competition-wise, getting back into the idea of racing. So really happy with how Sing Open went. And right now, definitely going to go back into the hurdles. Starting my hurdle specific training and getting the work done to get to where I need to be for the major games. And I think that will all start in 2 weeks' time, where I officially start off my campaign for the hurdles wise, where I'll be in Japan to compete in 2 meets in the hurdles. And really looking forward to it. Always happy to be back in Japan. But for now, that's it. Bye.